Hello and welcome back to the CSO Global Podcast series, where sustainability meets strategy and green finance becomes actionable reality. I am Meeta, and this is episode 2, building on our foundational discussion about green financing in India. Today, we are diving deeper into one of the most critical segments of our economy, MSMEs and their journey toward green financing. With over 63 million MSMEs contributing nearly 30% to India's GDP and employing over 110 million people, their transition to sustainable practices isn't just an environmental imperative, it's an economic necessity. Today, we will explore how banks are adapting their lending frameworks, what the RBI expects, and most importantly, how CSO Global is bridging the gap between MSME aspirations and banking realities. I am joined again by our esteemed directors, Mr. Hargobind Sachdev, with his deep banking expertise from State Bank of India, and Mr. Raminder Pal Singh, our project finance specialist with extensive MSME experience from Canara Bank. Let's begin. Mr. Raminder, can you give us a deep dive into the green finance landscape? What is the current state and how ready are MSMEs for green financing and what are the key challenges?
Okay. Mita, the
Yes.
MSME sector presents a fascinating paradox. On one hand, we see tremendous enthusiasm. Many MSME owners are genuinely concerned about environmental impact and rising operational costs. On the other hand, there's a significant awareness and capability gap. Most MSME don't realize that their existing operation might already qualify for green financing. For instance, a small manufacturing unit that installs LED lights or energy efficient motors, the textile business implementing water recycling system, a logistics company transitioning to CNG or electrical vehicles. The challenge is documentation, compliance, and understanding eligibility criteria.
Mr. Hargovind, from a banker's perspective, how has the approach toward MSME green lending evolved?
Oh, transformation has been remarkable, Meeta. MSME lending was primarily based on cash flow analysis and collateral security. It was totally, security driven, but now banks are incorporating ESG risk assessment and giving some marks for ESG compliance as well while doing the credit evaluation process. The RBI's recent guidelines emphasize that banks must tag green assets in their loan portfolios, conduct climate risk assessments for lending decisions, and of course, maintain separate reporting for green loans. They have to totally exclude it from the main basket and kitty of the loans which are not green. And banks are supposed to ensure end use of funds, and they are supposed to monitor it very, very closely. This isn't just compliance now, it's becoming a competitive advantage for banks that get it right.
Sure. So you mentioned compliance. So let's understand what the regulatory guidelines are and what the banking framework looks like. So, Mr. Hargovind, what are the RBI guidelines that banks must follow for MSME green financing?
See, RBI has been very proactive and is progressively coming out with various guidelines. So earlier they were for big ticket borrowers. Now they are entering the MSME segment as well. So for MSME, there are a couple of frameworks. The first one is the Green Deposit Framework, which was coined about 2 years ago. Herein, banks raising green deposits must allocate funds to eligible green projects only. Secondly, MSMEs in renewable energy, waste management, and clean transportation qualify. Others do not qualify. Then thirdly is that the green deposit framework requires quarterly reporting of fund utilization. Second point which RBI came up for compliance is that there are now predetermined climate risk disclosure guidelines. Banks must assess climate related financial risk in their lending. So the rating rationale must have a column for assessing the climate risk. Then there is a subdivision below the climate risk. The bank should not only assess the physical risks like floods, droughts, which might affect MSME operation, but they should also go into the transition risk. That is, suppose the carbon pricing or regulatory changes, enjoin upon an MSME to go in for, say, ETP or some other equipment which may be required to reduce the carbon emissions. Those costs in future may also be taken into account by banks while assessing the loan because they might impact the operational capacity of the unit. And of course, the priority sector lending modifications as conceptualized in the RBI scheme, they provide enhanced weightage for loans to MSMEs undertaking green projects. So there is a priority element which has been factored. And of course, the favorable risk weightages are given for each category of loan. Like in housing loan, capital adequacy was increased from 100 to 150, then reduced to 100. But now the weightage, risk weightage for green loans has been reduced by Reserve Bank of India.
So, Mr. Raminder, how do these guidelines they translate into practical lending products for MSMEs?
Okay. So I'll like to mention the banks. They have developed the specialized MSME green loan products, and there's so many features added to it, which enables the corporates to avail these loans at the flexible terms, concessional rates. For an example, see, typically these products are priced at 0.5 to 1% lower than the regular MSME loans. And they're also the banks realizing the need for the green financing. There are also flexibility in terms of the repayments. Generally, the banks grant term loans for a maximum tenure of 7 years, and of course, in certain cases, longer tenure options are there. But in case of a green finance, where there is a specific requirements for this kind of investments requirements, so they can go for a longer tenure. So banks are very flexible on that count. There are also other benefits like reduction in processing fee for green projects. Um, Then priority processing for eligible applications because the banks they need to meet their own green funding requirements. But it all comes with like there is also I like to mention that see the banks also need to have a robust framework to identify, evaluate, and monitoring these loans. That's where CSO Global's expertise can become crucial and come into play.
Mr. Raminder, before we get into how CSO Global can help you, can you let the audiences know what are the main green categories that MSME can access financing for?
Okay. I'll okay. Based on RBI's green taxonomy and international standards. So the few categories which I like to mention is the first one is energy efficiency, like solar rooftop installations, energy efficient machinery and equipments, LED lighting systems, building installation and cooling systems. And this is on the energy efficiency. And coming to clean transportation, electrical vehicle fleets, CNG conversion for commercial vehicles, charging infrastructure for EVs. Then coming to the next category is waste management, waste to energy projects, recycling equipments, efficient effluent treatment plants. composting facilities. Then when we come to the water management, rainwater harvesting systems, water recycling and treatment plants, drip irrigation systems, and of course, you see the majority, the big part of the bank's loan portfolio comprises of agriculture. There is also a government of India mandates which is classified under priority sector. Then, see, if we talk about the agriculture sector, then there will be organic farming transitions, precision agriculture equipments, and solar power irrigation systems. These are a few areas where the banks will see
Sure.
be more keen on lending to
So,
priority
Mr.
sectors.
So, Mr. Hargovind, sir, how do banks verify that these projects truly qualify as green?
See, the easiest way to cross verify things is to go to third party verifications. So banks are going to accredited third parties for taking technical feasibility reports, environmental impact assessment reports. They also insist on certification from recognized agencies like Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and they also need a verification of the compliance with national and international green standards being observed by the MSME unit if it wants an access to the green funding. We are fortunate that at CSO Global, we have the expertise to play a crucial role by helping MSMEs prepare these documentations, and we ensure that they comply to the banking requirements and become eligible for green funding.
Mr. Raminder, now let's get to how CSO Global can fit into this ecosystem. So, what is it the specific support, and how can CSO Global specifically support MSMEs in accessing green finance?
Meeta, we provide at CSO Global, we provide end-to-end support, which are tailored to MSME needs, starting from pre-application stage to the application and post-sanction services. If I do mention about pre-application support, so we do first, it starts with the green project identification. Um, we help MSME recognize opportunities that they may not be aware of or they may miss. So where this CSO plays a key role. We do eligibility assessment, um, which as per eligibility assessment, as per the RBI and banking criterias, uh, we do financial modeling. That's see assessment of the cash flows. Then, depending on the specifics or the nuances of the project, then we do documentation preparation. So we do full hand holding for our these clients. Like we prepare technical reports, compliance certificates, and see moving on to the application process, we do banking partner liaison. So we help clients to approach a bank, and the relationship we have with the banks, and we do okay. So another part is like the customers. So they have a limited wherewithal in terms of this preparing the documents as per the project, as per the bank specific requirements. There we come handy. We also do negotiation with the banks to get the most favorable terms for our clients in terms of interest, in terms of processing charges, other covenants. And we also provide post-sanction services, um, like implementation monitoring. So we do hand holding. where also because see, once the projects once the by sanction is done, so there are certain covenants which also needs to be complied with at the client end. So then we do compliance reporting, periodical reporting to the banks as per the specific sanction requirements. And we also do impact measurement, quantifying environmental and financial benefits entailing from this project. So it's a full hand holding through the entire journey from see the beginning till the project gets commissioned and comes into operation.
Mr. Hargovan, how can banks serve MSMEs better?
Well, as Raminderji said, CSO Global is poised, as a builder of institutional capability for MSME units. We are positioning ourselves as a friendly advisor on a very competitive cost analysis basis, wherein we have a three-pillar approach. Number one is, of course, we engage in framework development, we provide operational support, and we engage in market development for the MSME. Under the framework development, uh, you know, green lending policies of the banks, which are specific to MSME, are carved, refined, extracted from RBI, and then made implementable in the particular geography of that particular bank or a lending institution. And of course, we evolve and create risk assessment tools for green projects, and we provide the staff training. Right now, this is what is our exercise going on. We train the bankers on ESG evaluation, and under the operational support, we provide due diligence assistance for complex green projects. There might be projects which might be very big, very large, involving huge amount of capital, various expertises, various geographies will be part of the same company producing one part of a particular product in one place, the other in the other place. So we provide due diligence assistance. We do portfolio monitoring and for the entire green loan book. And of course, as a vigilant organization, we provide audit and compliance support for RBI reporting so that the banks are not non-compliant as far as statutory requirements are concerned. And of course, under the third pillar, we engage in market development where we help design of products for MSME green financing, and we also engage ourselves in strategizing the marketing strategies to reach the potential buyers in India as well as abroad. And we also help facilitate partnership facilitation with technology providers and consultants so that the MSME is not lacking on any front to streamline and position its product for sale for getting profits.
So now let's make this real with some market examples. Mr. Raminder, what kind of opportunities are you seeing across different sectors?
The opportunities are tremendous across sectors, Meeta. Let me share some typical scenarios we observe in the market. Take for an example in the textile sector. Uh, Units installing solar rooftops are ex- accessing green loan at a rate 1 to 2% lower than the conventional financing. Water recycling projects are becoming bankable with 3 to 4 years payback period. Export-oriented units are finding green compliance essential for maintaining international buyers. In manufacturing sector, small auto component makers switch to energy efficient machinery. Food processing units investing in waste to energy systems. Chemical manufacturers implementing effluent treatment upgrades. If we talk about services, logistic companies transitioning to electric CNG fleets, hotels installing renewable energy and waste conservation systems, IT companies investing in green building certificates.
What makes these projects attractive from a lending perspective, Mr. Hargovind, sir?
Well, green is the flavor, and green MSME loans, they typically demonstrate superior performance characteristics. First and foremost is that there is a lower default rate. Why? Because it is due to improved operational efficiencies and improved cash flows. The cost of production also goes down. And of course, there is enhanced business sustainability and market competitiveness. Because of CBAM, you see exporters now are worried they might be taxed at European borders. So if you are already a green product manufacturer, those things can be circumvented. Then there are better regulatory compliance because the long-term risks they get mitigated, and of course the brand of the company grows that it is a green product. So there is a lot of positive brand association for banks in ESG focused markets, which are evolving very, very fast.
So, given CSO Global's expertise, Mr. Raminder, how are you positioned to support these diverse opportunities?
Meeta, I like to mention that CSO and our strength lies in our diverse professional expertise and cross-sector experience. If I do mention our team, we have banking veterans like Mr. Hargovind um, and myself who understand credit evaluation from a lender's perspective across different geographies, from metro markets to rural banking. We also have sector specialists with deep domain knowledge in manufacturing, infrastructure, agriculture, and servicing. This is the strength which CSO drives from the people who have come together from different domains, um, banking, from renewable energy, from who are the specialists in green, this lead certified professionals. So that's the big strength we have. We have, as I mentioned, so we have ESG and sustainability experts um, who understands, stay current with the evolving global standards and can adopt them to Indian regulatory environment. We have project finance professionals experienced in structuring complex financing across sectors like renewable energy, infrastructure, and industrial projects. This unique combination which we have, so it allows us to serve clients across different sectors and geographies. If I do mention, so it could be a client from a textile unit in Tamil Nadu, a logistic company in Punjab, or a manufacturing unit in Gujarat.
So, what is the future? What is the future outlook? What are the opportunities, and what is what are the emerging trends that you see shaping MSME green financing, Mr. Raminder?
Okay. When we talk about that, the trends which will be shaping MSME green financing, there's so many exciting developments which are happening now. Starting with technology integration, um, there are there will be digital platforms for faster green loan processing, IoT-enabled monitoring of project performance, blockchain-based impact verifications. And this is also enabled through a policy support from the government. Uh, there enhanced government subsidies for green MSME projects, tax incentives for sustainable investments, and simplified approval process for eligible projects. And Needless to mention that there is a market demand for it. Take an example. Uh, See, supply chain requirements will be pushing MSME towards sustainability. Consumer preference for green products, export market opportunities for compliant MSME. As Hargovind sir has already told, CBAM is a big enabler or a requirement for the companies or corporates who wants to export to the European market. They have to comply with this.
Hargovind sir, would you like to add anything over here in terms of emerging trends, exciting opportunities that we can hope to see in future?
See, now SEBI has mandated 1,000 top corporates in India in terms of market capitalization to submit BRSR. Lot of ignorance about what to report, what not to report, how to submit report with periodic growth, development, business plans, not only under E but under S and G segment as well. So our company is positioning in an educational sector there where we are guiding companies how to compile these reports and how to highlight their performance under ESG so that they get good rating, the market response, investments flow in, their products are more saleable across globe. So the opportunities are tremendous, madam.
So that's a very compelling value proposition. So how does this translate into practical support for our clients, Mr. Ravinder?
Our sector and geographic experts uh, enable us to provide tailored solutions. For textile MSMEs, we understand dyeing process, waste management challenges, and export compliance requirements specific to different textile hubs. For manufacturing units, our team knows energy consumption patterns, machinery financing, and efficiency improvement across various manufacturing sectors. If we take an example of agro processing, we understand seasonal cash flows, rural banking dynamics, and agriculture value chain financing. If I do mention about service sector MSME, we know commercial vehicle financing, hospitality industry requirements, and urban infrastructure needs. This deep sector knowledge, combined with our banking relationship across multiple states, means we can match MSME with most suitable financial partners and structure deals that work for both parties. This is the value add we can provide from our side.
Mr. Hargovind, any thoughts?
Yeah, see, the climate risk regulations may look cumbersome right now for the MSME segment, but in the long run, they are the real resilience provider to the MSME. If they have to live a sustained life, compete with international markets, export and gain investments, then they'll have to comply. Fortunately, at CSO Global, we empower them. We have the educate entire geographical spread of experts. Right now, Raminderji is in South Africa. He has worked there for very long in various types of industries. Our other two directors, Mr. David, they are all spread geographically. So there's a lot of synergy, universal synergy, which accumulates at CSO Global, which can be implemented through MSMEs and make them competitive and compliant to various guidelines of RBI regarding this the impact of bad climate which might ruin their future. So we are factoring climate resilience, into their operations. As far as banks are concerned, we are factoring climate resilience into their lending decisions so that their rating rationale contains a column whether the unit which they are going to finance is compliant on ESG or not. So these are some of these scenarios which are evolving, wherein we are very important players, wherein we help banks lend green funding and MSME units obtain green funding.
So, before we wrap up, let's give our MSME listeners some practical and actionable advice. Mr. Raminder, what should an MSME do today to prepare for green finance?
Either for MSME to prepare for the green finance, there are certain immediate steps which they need to take, and they also have to have medium-term planning. If we talk about immediate steps, it starts with energy audit, understanding this your current consumption patterns. They also needs to identify the opportunities. What could be the potential green improvements which they can bring in? It doesn't just help the corporates or MSMEs to make the processes more green. It has got long-term benefits and immediate benefits also. They're saving in costs, they become compliant, so they can access export markets. And the immediate steps also requires document current practices. Many MSMEs may already be doing green activities, but they don't realize it, they don't document it. They also need to connect with experts. So engage consultants early in the process. Build banker relationships, start conversation with your current banks, understand from them what are the requirements, the banking specific requirements for to qualify as a green uh, unit. Okay, let me say something about medium-term planning. See, the, the, the MSMEs needs to develop a sustainability roadmap for their business. They have to explore certification programs relevant to the industry, network with other MSME who have access green financing, and stay updated on the policy changes and new opportunities.
Mr. Hargovind, any advice for MSMEs while approaching banks?
Yeah, there are four clear guidelines. If you want to access green finance, come out with a clean and a clear project proposal with proper financial projections. That is the basic requirement. Second thing is the documentation, should be technical and it should prove the green credentials. If you're really not green and you're only greenwashing, you may not be eligible, you may get rejected. Third is, of course, there should be a business case showing how green investment will improve your profitability. And lastly, of course, they must observe the compliance roadmap, as Raminderji said, and they must address the regulatory requirement. If these four components are there in their character, in their business model, MSME will definitely get green financing, madam. And of course, it takes a bit more time to evaluate because the green funding is a new phenomenon. So the borrower has to be patient and he must, build a relationship with the bank management because both sides are learning and only patience can take the such green projects through. And of course, one must be very, very transparent in dealing with banks because banks have a responsibility to the Reserve Bank of India and SEBI that the funds collected through green deposits should be deployed through green loans only. So they should be transparent and should not do greenwashing. Otherwise, their projects will end up paying higher interest rates and penalties if they take green fund but misutilize it for normal activity.
Thank you, gentlemen. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion. Mr. Hargovind, Mr. Raminder, thank you once again for sharing your expertise and practical insights. To all our MSME listeners, green finance is not just about environmental responsibility. It's about building resilient, profitable, and future ready businesses. The regulatory environment, market demand, and financial ecosystem are all aligning to support your green transition. So, what are the few takeaways from this discussion? One, green financing opportunities exist for almost every MSME sector. Two, banks are actively supporting green MSME projects with favorable terms. Three, professional guidance can significantly improve your success rate. And four, start small, think big. Even modest green investments can qualify for financing. In our next episode, we will deep dive into green loan documentation and compliance, walking you through the entire process step by step. I am Meeta. This is CSO Global, empowering tomorrow sustainably today. For personalized consultation on MSME green financing, do visit www.cso-global.com or connect with us on LinkedIn. CSO Global, your trusted partner in 360-degree ESG transformation. Thank you, Jimbo.